watch the debate on leftovers right now. Debate? What debate?
But you don't upload it to
Oh,
YouTube.
God.
Yes, that's the
I mean,
the
that's
major,
a big difference.
That's the major difference. If you ever see a video like that on YouTube, it is most likely from a fan channel that took a straight VOD rip and posted it on YouTube and is monetizing it themselves. It's not touching me in any capacity. And
can I be honest with you?
What?
There will be a time, in my opinion, where still be some legal hammer that will come down on streamers. And there will be a time when you guys will look back and be like, damn, I missed it. That was crazy that we just sat there watching content. Like, that day will come when you guys will not be allowed to do this anymore because it's just so risky because there will be legal precedent.
I agree.
And so I that's truly what I think. But again, my criticism of him right now is,
hey, man, I'm fine. I don't with copyright stuff. You guys know how paranoid I am about that. I'm safe, okay? When watching Ben Shapiro's Barbie review, I was like making the screen flicker around when there was more than one consecutive second of film footage, even if there wasn't connected audio. I'm set. I'll be fine. When the great streamer DMCA purge comes, all right, I will be spared.
he uploaded this to YouTube. Because I understand the nature of live streaming. You sit there, stuff is going on, like you said. But for him to be like, yo, okay, so this was actually fire. I'm not going to edit it at all. I'm going to cut this unedited.
Yeah, I don't think he
basically
thinks
their
about
video
that at all
and put it on
because
YouTube.
there's never been any kind of. I don't think he's ever gotten criticized for this even.
What? Yeah, he has. He's gets shit for this all the time, doesn't he?
Up until this very moment, there's never been an XQC is bad for doing this. I'm telling you this because I've been getting shit on for
I feel like I've heard XQC getting shit on for this before.
Years, in spite of the fact that I have like these boundaries on how I make this kind of content and what I choose to upload onto my actual like owned and operated page that's like heavily edited.
Just remember that when JXC got upset with Hasan for watching her like all of her video on his stream, he got really defensive and was like, this lady associates with far-right people because, like, she went on, it's just like a podcast she went on that has, like, Mauser on it or something. I'm sorry. I like JXC a lot. I think her content's really good, despite being British.
Regardless of that, I've been getting shit on online for years and years, and not a single peep was ever made about XQC in that
right?
process.
I thought
and he never sidestepped to be like, hold up, guys, let's stop now. I mean, I do this too. It's kind of ridiculous. He's never come out and like defended me in any capacity, despite the fact that he himself was a regular abuser of the same structures.
Oh, wait, shit. I have one more thing that I take for my cough, but it's an inhaler, so it's like super dorky. Hold on. I'm protecting myself.
If we're being real. The same goes for, again, Charlie, Moist Critical, any kind of Asmongold, any kind of live streamer that is
I am a coward. Yeah, I am a coward.
Can always have this kind of footage cut out of them because they're live for 10 hours a day.
But he uploaded this to YouTube.
It's the same. I understand.
Yeah,
that is a big difference. That's why I think the important thing to mention
his ass is not defeating the dork allegations. Just giant, thick lens, round glasses taped together in the center. You know, just the whole...
is that uploading that kind of VOD content to YouTube without any editing whatsoever is not good, and it's not a good product in general. But listen, the one thing I have to mention here is that it's no different than when podcasts first came out and people would get clipped out of context all the time on podcasts, because that was the first time that we were experiencing like an uninterrupted 3-hour medium of content from people that were not media trained to speak for 3 hours. So you could very easily catch someone off guard and make them appear a certain way.
I don't think you need to make excuses. I mean, look, just own it. You do that shit.
What do you mean?
You do that shit. You watch. I mean, you and all these guys.
Oh shit!
Yeah, be like, yeah, I do that shit. You don't.
I say like watching this and barely talking.
Like make analogies and excuses and stuff. Just be like, I do that. I do that shit.
It's not an analogy at all. The point is, you have to. If we're talking about it like live reacting.
Also, can somebody tell me if Hasan is getting like younger? Is this a Benjamin Button thing? He's slowly developing the broccoli cut, which he didn't have before, and I feel like there's some his facial structure. I feel like it's age regressing. Does anyone? Okay, it's not just me. Okay,
Go back to like the live reacting on Twitch side of things. I like that there are no legal limitations to it. I think it's a good thing. I know that, and I know you know that the YouTube live DMCA structure is definitely ripe for abuse. That's number one. And
well, it's the same DMCA structure that governs Twitch, isn't it? It's a set of laws that provide platforms the means
but the automated process and the way that YouTube has set it up has made it so that you can like very quickly shut down.
Okay. Basically, the way it works is that websites did not want to be sued for having copyright content on them that was uploaded by other people. Like, YouTube really did not want to be sued if somewhere out there on their website there was like there was like a 3-view video that was the entirety of like Beauty and the Beast, the animated film or whatever. And because if that was law, like it would be impossible to run any kind of social media website because people post copyright stuff all the time. So what they came up with were the DMCA laws, which was basically as long as a platform has a system for removing copyright content that is reasonably effective and can be engaged with, they will be protected from the legal consequences of having copyright material on their platform. So every social media website has its own DMCA process. It's not one legal process. The process is developed by the site in order to conform with an expectation set by the law. So Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, they all have DMCA process. They're all different levels of bad. And they all exist in order to do that, to protect copyright content. I think that YouTube has the most strict of them by far because it has a very robust automatic content ID copyright detection system. But you know, it's gotten pretty all around, you know.
Most live productions, you can very quickly shut them down, or you can
over Twitch. Twitch has more strict terms of service. In terms of DMCA and content ID, YouTube is more strict.
Immediately monetize them. I mean, you've had this issue. There's a reason why like you can't even watch like a TikTok video because you're worried that if there's 10 seconds of like music that slips in, then all of a sudden your 3-hour content that you produced with a team of brilliant producers and put together all of a sudden is gone because of like a slip up. And I don't think that structure is good for making good content.
I don't think it's like something to even really stress or about. But I do think
I agree with that. I feel like music in particular should be subject to much lower DMCA standards, because if the idea is avoiding people just copyright ripping content or whatever, I don't think you could reasonably argue that a 10 or 15 or even 20-second clip of a song materially replaces the worth or value of the song itself, you know? Like, if somebody hears a song in a video and it's like a copyrighted song or whatever, and it's like a 10-second bit, they're not going to go, oh man, I really like that song. Well, thankfully, I don't need to listen to the actual song because the 10-minute or the 10-second clip that I have right here perfectly satisfies my need to hear. Like, that's not how it works, really, right? The way we look at copyright content in general is kind of stupid, you know? I think, like, the goal is, so there is value in protecting copyright content for obvious reasons, right? Because I'm not fully, like, anti-IP law, because I think that'd be really bad for artists. As long as there's some IP law, then this is going to be an issue. But I just don't know why the content ID is structured in such a way that you can have your shit shut down over 10 or 15-second clips. Does anyone seriously believe that showing 15 seconds of, I don't know, an anime detracts from the marketability of the original product? I would think, if anything, it's the opposite. Showing small clips of music or a movie or whatever else probably massively increases its reach, at least within that audience, because it's like, oh, well, that was a nice 15-second clip. I want to go see the whole thing, you know? It's like with video games. Like, Nintendo made an effort to kind of, like, content claim the ad revenue from a bunch of Let's Play videos for their stuff. But I think it's been demonstrated, or at least I think you can make a really strong argument, that putting entire video games online doesn't hurt video game sales, right? I don't think it does. I think it's the opposite. I think it spreads hype, if anything. But that's the weird thing, right? You can't play 5 seconds of a movie on YouTube without the automatic content ID claim locking you down. A song, likewise, but you can play an entire video game. Like, there are video games that have hours and hours of cutscenes, you know, like Metal Gear Solid 4 or whatever, or like The Last of Us or God of War. Like, you're playing any of that shit on YouTube, full Let's Play uploads, and you're playing like a $100 million game that has full cutscenes that might as well be a Hollywood movie, you know? You know what I'm talking about, right? But it doesn't hurt the video games. So I don't know. I feel like we could probably get away with, like, you know, way more leniency. Vosh, it's been proven to be the opposite with the abridging community. Abridged Yu-Gi-Oh! And DBZ increase sales, views, community. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is great, by the way. I watched it. I loved it. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is insanely popular. And you know why they stopped making them? Because YouTube Content ID got way more strict. They said that. They were like, yeah, we just can't make these anymore. Like, we can't do it. You know, like, it's too risky. We risk our channel when we put this up. So this system is insane. I don't think it benefits anyone in its current form. I don't think it benefits people trying to make content, and I don't think it benefits people who are making the original material that gets used in that content. It affected the YouTube poop community as well. Yeah, well, it affects everyone. You know. Yes, I agree. The DMCA law itself is pretty outdated. I'm just saying that the metrics by which platforms are trying to adhere to them, I don't think benefits anyone. It's, you know, like, I'm just, okay, all I have to say is this. I am glad that for the most part, it has been culturally accepted that full video game playthroughs are okay. Because, like, there is no reason why that should be any different from anything else. Like, if they were being consistent, you shouldn't be able to upload shit on video games. Like, it would just be a dead zone. You just couldn't do it. Like, if you wanted to make a point about Dark Souls video game mechanics, you would have to have people show, like, 3-second clips that they would have to edit around or put music over or put in a little box or color filter so that it doesn't... like, that'd be insane. But that is literally what we do with everything else. So, you know, I know that obviously video games have a degree of replayability, customizability, because they're video games, not movies. But, like, video game cutscenes, right? Like, you know... you're doing like a live stream Let's Play of The Last of Us, and it's like, oh, cutscene time, like mashing the skip button because that's like the content ID part, you know? Okay, sorry, I paused for a while there.
I think, like, it's good to acknowledge, like, yeah, we are doing this thing that's probably not right, and
haven't most new video games been shipping with settings and modes specifically for streamers and Let's Players? That's for music. You can play a whole game on YouTube with no issues, but God forbid there's one licensed song in the middle of it because your ass is going to Content IDville if it is, okay? So when they have like stream mode, it's a music thing, you know? They did this with they did this with Hi-Fi Rush. They did that with Life is Strange True Colors, which just muted the music. So if you hit streamer mode, you'll have like these super ultra emotional scenes that are supposed to have like montage music playing over them that are just dead silent. So you just like, it's like something your computer broke, you know? It's great. I love that. It's super good.
I'm thinking about ways to better address it, because it's like you said, it's the industry standard, it's the norm, of how people operate on Twitch.
As if the game wasn't awkward enough.
Acknowledging that, you know, in some cases it's not right, which you have done, right?
Yeah.
And so you know, that's what it is. And so,
I like that there is like a less automated process, though. I will admit, one, because it's obviously personally beneficial for me, but two, I think it's better for making unique derivative works in general.
Yeah, Cam, it's weird.
It really limits your creativity. It limits what you can and can't do. People can immediately go, well, creativity, just fucking play a YouTube video, walk away.
Right,
but like, no,
you still have to consider the rights of the people that made the content. But like, and I think the reason that it is more lax on Twitch is because legally there's more room to play with because of the whole saving it and archiving it and putting it up on YouTube. Gives a little bit different playground to play in. That's why I'm being super extra critical of XQC, because look at this shit, and I'm at 1 minute. This motherfucker hasn't said a single word.
So far, he has only received a couple of likes and has 0 matches.
Oh, dude, this was from 3 hours ago. Wait, like XQC is currently in the in the kitchen fire over the React Andy shit, and 3 hours ago he uploaded a video where he didn't talk and just watched another YouTube. Okay.
Here he goes.
He becomes frustrated.
No, false alarm. Minute 10.
Whoa, okay,
this
is a bit intel bait a little bit.
He puts so much effort into
what the f is he even talking about? Who is he talking to?
Setting up a nice profile.
I could tell you don't really watch Twitch at all.
Listen, I'm on YouTube right now, dude.
Yeah.
Markiplier made a good statement on stealing content, did he? Well, I'll take any excuse to listen to and look at Markiplier. Thank you.
Don't credit him, ask for permission. I'm sorry, did I stutter in the title of this? The title of the video is Stealing Other YouTubers' Content. What part of that made you think that I was in any way apologetic about everything that I was doing? Because I'm not. I'm here to steal content, and I'm here to profit off of it. I'm not doing this because I'm moral. I'm not taking any stance about this. I am simply stealing other people's content. This is content thief, and I'm stealing it.
This is called grounding your axioms, and it's what we should all strive to achieve. This man is the voice of a cowboy. Do you not know Markiplier? Markiplier is great. Markiplier is the only like mainstream appeals to mostly kids Let's Player that I like watching. Largely, I think, because he's just so pleasant to listen to and look at, but also because I think he comes across as really intelligent and sincere, even though he's like doing a bit for the most part.
Like, I could tell you don't really... YouTube live streaming is very different due to the automated DMCA structure.
I'm judging
you
this,
would not be able to do this on
I'm
YouTube.
judging this as a YouTube video, which is what it is.
I understand that. I know.
I'm
It's
not-
hard for
you
me.
know what I
It's
mean?
hard for me to separate the two in my mind because I'm like...
I know you're
'Cause
feeling
that's like-
defensive because you feel
Because
like
I'm
you
looking
do
at
the
that
same
and I'm like,
thing.
well, that's
Yeah.
if I was watching this on Twitch, I would be perfectly understanding that
it's
it's
a
like
YouTube video.
yes,
That's what I'm criticizing. there.
fair.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really nice, Furman.
He's ugly as fuck, yeah.
To answer that question,
Good comment.
you need to understand the
150
numbers behind
120?
it.
Is he a lefty? I don't think Markiplier's a lefty. I think he's progressive. I think I remember him saying progressive stuff.
I made a simulation of a dating app with 1,000 dummies to try to understand why men get so few men.
Minute 30, no commentary.
Dating apps can
Yo, because they gotta
Oh, we got a big screen. Here it is.
compete, guys. I feel like this is just like, Jack. Can you just break this down? Just evolutionary, like it's just like normal, like animal type shit, dude. It's like you gotta compete, bruh.
Can we transcribe?
Dude, it's so hard for me to be mean to XQC because my content businessman brain is reminding me that like, hey, you know, Destiny got a lot of good attention by talking to XQC, but that's like never gonna happen for me. So I need to like not, you know, like, oh, maybe you could explain to it, but like, holy shit, he comes across so dumb whenever he says
that. I feel like this is animal shit.
He's
bro.
trying to talk about evolutionary psychology
Yeah.
and saying that like the reason for this disparity on dating apps for men comes from.
You're giving him a lot of
comes from
fucking
evolution.
credit.
I mean, I understand what he's trying to say.
Oh, did you guys hear about that paper that like really substantively challenged evolutionary psychology from like a basic level because there was a ton of evidence of there being female hunter-gatherers back in the day? The origin myth of all evolutionary psychology is that 10,000 years ago, all men were chucking spears at mammoths and all women were breastfeeding and like weaving baskets, you know? And if you challenge that, it basically all falls apart really quickly afterwards.
Trying to say.
Well, you can.
Do all these tricks and add all these feathers that are all these.
See,
colors
there's
of the
editing.
men, and
We got the bird. We got the
when
Rolex.
the women, it's just a brown bird, because the men has to appeal the best and do all
This is
these
an edited
tricks
video,
and because
Ethan.
they have to compete.
I'm just
I will,
saying.
listen, no, this,
argument.
this part's fine, even though I think he sounds like a moron. It's
Okay,
fine, right?
I'm just.
But it took him 2 minutes to say a goddamn
Yeah,
single
he's
word about it.
Well, first you got to establish a narrative. What are we watching? You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't do that.
Well, he let the video do it. I think.
Well, he needs to do it.
I mean, you know.
If he's not going to talk for 2 minutes,
I mean, he's.
listen. I'm just telling. I'm just telling.
No,
him,
this
like,
is constructive.
This is what it is, dude.
Critique.
edited
This is
video.
a
engagement.
distorted picture of what the real dating world is like.
Whatever. But yeah, more XQC's a moron. I really dislike him. I don't
Okay.
get the hype.
Did we make any? Do we
Grounded
touch any
axioms.
new ground on the ethics of live streaming? I feel like we need to
Wait.
summarize it, like
Okay,
a TLDR of it.
Here's what I think. I don't think what you're doing makes you a bad person or wrong or something that you should feel guilty or even get dogpiled.
I don't
And now
even-
Ethan is stealing both of his, and I'm stealing their video too. So the cycle continues. You know, it's like the human centipede.
feel guilty about what I'm doing.
Okay. But what I do think is that it's good for people, streamers, to start acknowledging there are boundaries and there are certain things you can and cannot do or there are things that make it better, and there are things that make it worse. And I think it's good for React streamers to start acknowledging those things and trying to work to make it better.
Yeah, I mean,
as one example, walking away well.
I've gotten criticized. I've gotten criticized a lot for this for many, many years, and regardless of the personal vendetta or the genuine interest that like my interlocutors in those situations had about like whether it be generating clout for themselves or whatever, even though I very swiftly apologized for it and tried to make amends for it. And they just refused to recognize that and just continued hammering on for years and years about how big of a piece of shit I am, which made me
The JXE thing was such a dude. Oh, God. I'm going back down here now.
Up any pretense of trying to respond to these people altogether. There are truthful aspects to their criticism, which I've taken to heart and have changed the way that I live stream even on top of that.
Good. Great.
Something in this regard towards live streaming and like live streaming uploads onto YouTube, I'm going to have to start cracking the DMCA whip on my own Hasan Eclipse Industrial Complex.
Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on, boys.
It's like fan channels.
Right.
Because one, it's not good content in general if you're just like leaving that dead air. And if you're not editing it in order to make it transformative.
Just to be clear, you're talking about fan channels that upload your clips wholesale.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah, VOD rips.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not me. Because you will not find, I don't think you'll find a video from my own personal channel where like I'm not in
You won't. I can
good
vouch
faith,
for that.
like watching a video.
All right, I'm bored of this now. All right, nice. What matters is that I've never stolen content, except for when I do, and when I do, it's good.